Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, my name is Brandon, aka Rags Riches, aka the CEO, CFO. What does Matt say? The something of couch cushion maintenance. What else does he say? Something about King Kamala or Kamala Harris. I don't know what it is. Mr. Rafferty, what's up? You guys are here right now because you really have nothing else better to do. Hex Force 1, numero uno today. Well done. Hey, Rags, I'm here because I have nothing better to do. D-Hexistentialist. Lima Foxtrot Golf. Daniil Siakers. I'm here by mistake, but I guess I'll stay and listen to Rags for a little bit. Just a quick reminder, folks.
Rags to riches. Do not like, comment, or subscribe.
All right, Godfather J6 in the house. 2023 prediction. Brandon will still be a ginger. Dude, you're already wrong, man. I mean, well... Woo! Look at that beautifully shaped dome piece of mine. Good golly, Miss Molly. Footsteps, let's go. Terrafin Beta. DJ Dougie in the house. Big boy, woohoo. Red Squirrel, oi, oi. Rags to bullish. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to kind of get into this. Oh, yeah, I forgot Mayor of Sassy City. You're right. That's your favorite one. It's disgusting. Will Hex come back? The answer is yes. Hex will come back, folks. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's going to get weird, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Trust and believe that. We'll check charts here real quick. Now, here, let me just tell you guys what we're going to do today. We've got predictions. I said it's 10 predictions in the thumbnail, and actually I've got about 19 predictions. So we're going to try to do that. We're going to try to make it through this. We're going to try to cut through this pretty quick. But I'm going to put it on record. I've got a couple price predictions in there too. So that's going to be interesting. We'll check charts as always. We'll see what's happening in the chart world, in the crypto world. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on the edge of insanity, teetering on the edge of the abyss, looking over, dropping rocks and pebbles and counting how long it takes to get to the bottom. And guess what? They never hear it hit. That's scary. That's some scary stuff. All right, so here we go here. All right. So Bitcoin next level down, it's gonna probably be about 13,800. After beyond that, about 11,921, and then we'll go over a couple other things with that as well. So Bitcoin not looking pretty. Some people get upset because I don't go in on the the 4 hour or the 12 hour. I think the daily is really the best time frame. Really the best time frame for me. Because it gives you more data. You're working with more data. Maybe you can make a little bit better decisions. But we will see. I think it's going to plunge. I think it's going to go down. But we'll talk about that later. Ethereum. What's Ethereum doing? Ethereum is, again, kind of on the it's playing in the same ballpark here, folks. It's the same situation. The whole market is, right? Hex. Let's check Hex here. Hex, guys. Hex, here's my opinion on Hex. This is what I think's happening here. Well, this is what I know is going to happen. I think we're breaking through all of these levels. Our actual massive support levels are probably going to be more close to a penny, between a penny and 0.8 of a cent. And I'm going to give you guys my price prediction as to when that kind of hits based on what's going on in the macro scale here. But we'll talk about that too. Hedron. Same thing, Hedron. We told you guys, and by we, I said me, myself, and I, the unholy trinity here. I said that we'll probably be attracted back to this level because we saw it wick down for Hedron. So I think we definitely are probably gonna. That makes sense. I think we're gonna see about 95.06 pretty soon here. Underneath that, we're gonna be attracted to about 62.84. Icosa, we had a big old buy up. I think there was a burn associated with an Icosa burn associated with this as well. So right now I think that we're trying to find our bottom in Icosa. After the auctions came to fruition and all that, and also after there was that screw up with Poly, I think that Icosa is now in price discovery to the downside. So I don't know how long this is going to last. I guess technically we've been in a downtrend now for 136 days. So this is quite, I mean, this is pretty much out of the average right now. You know, it would be nice to find the bottom here pretty quick. We're at about 35 cents. If you're an Icosa type of person, could be a good buy. Just remember, when Hex pumps, it's going to pull all this stuff up with it. Zen Salabim. All these people talking about Zen. If you checked my tweet out yesterday, let me go to Twitter real quick. And here's what I like to do. You know, some people call it laziness. In fact, I called it laziness myself. But if you want to find something out about a project, why don't you just ask the people who have the project? This actually got 20,500 views. I said, what am I missing with Zen? Why are people telling me this asset is revolutionary? Let me know below. So, you know, I asked good questions. I responded. People were extremely polite. I didn't really have any issues. So I thought that was pretty neat. Hexkins, Zen folks alike. I was thinking, what should we call them? Xenophobes? Xenophobes? Guess not, because that would insinuate that they're afraid of it. So, if you guys want to check that out, look through. There's a whole lot of really good information about Zen in here. And I asked a whole lot of clarifying questions because some stuff didn't make sense. Obviously, there was some talking points in there and that people didn't understand, which is normal in crypto. And then there were some people who understood things. So, good stuff there. Let's go back to the chart. And ASICs. ASICs, they are looking very nice right now. ASIC is looking nice. Pulse Dogecoin is bouncing right where we thought it might bounce. And right where it has bounced really since its inception. We've hit this bottom level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, interacted with it. We're squeezing to the upside right now. I would imagine that if Zen hits about $9 here within the next, let's call it, I'd say $9 within the next 30 days, we'll probably shoot to the upside. We're going to be kind of heading towards the middle of this channel, which could be about 20 bucks. So as soon if we break through that, then that's what'll happen. It did get rejected and pop back down, but it's holding this bottom trend line very well. We'll see. All right. Let's get into this, guys. I'm going to check chat here real quick. Let's check. Yeah, Westcott says, will Hex come back? The answer is yes. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are well. Ginger CFO, Ginger CEO. Hey, all. Wow, what a head. Thank you, Mud Dog. Mud Hog. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Not gonna lie, that dome piece looking mighty fine, downright purty. It's a very symmetrical dome piece. I completely agree. Mixed crypto R's, yo, CBH to R2R. Crypto Beat Heart, CBH. Okay. Taryn, what's up? Crypto Heartbeat Ray, David Lee in the house. John May, I'm here. Bright Light Crypto. What's up? What's up? What's up? Sam Kemp, Crypto Heartbeat said we should tell you he sent us. He's so kind. He's so kind and generous. He, you know, actually, is he really kind and generous? Because he sends you here to get punishment. Is that kind and generous? Let's rethink that, folks. John May says, I'm trying to get out of this rut, so I'm going to do my best to be active. That's the way to do it. Finbear, wah, wah. What's up, dude? Mobius. Man, we got a couple faces in here I haven't seen before. Harmonica Hexagon. Hello, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Just bought some more Hex, blah, blah. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, making sure I didn't miss anything. Some of you fools hit me up. You tweet me or you hit me up in Telegram, and then you like yell at me because I didn't talk about your comment. Making sure I didn't piss anybody off here. Not that I really care. +1 in chat if Brandon looks better with a shaved head. Mr. Rafferty. Giggity. All right. We've got a lot to go over, but it's okay. It's all good. 10 predictions for the future of crypto. Now, here's the thing. I got this inspiration from a CoinDesk article. And a guy named Jeff Wilser and some Asian lady whose name starts with an X and there's Y's and stuff in there. I'm not even gonna, and I's. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, but I think the last name's Liu. So they were co-authors on this article, and they talked about, they're speculating what types of things will we see. So I'm going to go over kind of what they talked about, and then I'm going to go to my predictions as well. So actually, I rugged you because instead of 10, you're actually going to get 19. Here we go. Number one, what happens in 2023? Epic battles over regulation. Turn this, dude. This friggin' reflection off my face is high. I'm going to start a fire on my wall if I don't turn this. There we go. Oh, that's better. The exact outcome is anyone's guess, but 2023 could be the year where the clashes over regulation finally reach their climax. There's going to be harsh crypto regulation proposed in an epic battle by the community to fight the parts of it that threatens decentralization. So, yeah, I mean, I think that I was talking about this with Crypto Heartbeat yesterday. I said, there is a boiling point right now. It seems like people are getting more and more and more frustrated that there is no clarity. And quite honestly, from the SEC, it just kind of seems like they're spinning their tires. You get promoted to your highest level of incompetence, and I'm wondering if Gary Gensler, he talked a really good talk and walked a really good walk until he actually got the position that allowed him to do something productive. And now he's here, and what's he doing? Really, he's stirring up trouble, it seems. But we'll see. I'm actually going to talk about Gary Gensler a little bit for one of my predictions. 2. Web3 platforms continue to grow. Larger macro downturn market conditions should hopefully shift crypto projects away from speculation and more towards utility. One major utility category simply being meaningful, fun social experiences. Predicts Alex Zhang, the de facto head of Friends with Benefits DAO. He expects this to translate to more meaningful Web3 social platforms and protocols. Yeah, okay, so, Web3 is going to grow. I think that's true. I take a little bit of, let's see here. Larger macro and downturn market conditions should hopefully shift crypto projects away from speculation and more towards utility. What more utility is there if you put $1 in and you get $100 out and you can use that $100 somewhere else? Is that utility, folks? I think that we need to move away from that view and that idea that crypto has to have utility. People don't understand that you're pooling together your funds in such a way that allows that economic energy to stay within a small community, and it's not necessarily destroyed by inflation, right? I think that is actually massive utility, but it has to do something, right? Just like gold has to do something. 3, more bleeding, more losses, more pain. Man, these names are crazy. Cass Pianci. The contagion isn't anywhere close to over. Co-host of Crypto Critics Corner podcast says, Pianci says that companies, banks, and funds are desperately hoping the market moves past the FTX and Alameda collapse or strictly focuses on their malfeasance. But whether people like it or not, you can't wish away a credit crunch and exposure to bad counterparties. I agree. Folks, it's only going to get worse out here. It's only going to get worse. A lot of the crypto bros that I'm seeing, even the mainstream media, they want to paint this beautiful rosy picture for you. Yeah, guys, it's bad right now, but Joe Biden's doing the things to get this done. In fact, if you guys go to Twitter right now, the leftist Twitter bots are going insane. Inflation Reduction Act. And it's like all this stuff is completely copied and pasted. I'll share. So here he goes. As part of the mainstream media propaganda machine, in just 13 days, people with Medicare Part D drug coverage will be able to get the shingles vaccine and more recommended adult vaccines at no cost. This, you guessed it, thanks to the POTUS's Inflation Reduction Act. President Biden, one of the reasons I ran for office was to confront the existential threat climate change poses to our nation and the world. With the signing of the Inflation Reduction Act, we took the biggest step. Oh my gosh. So you pass, okay, so it's just absolutely insane. All this is just copy, pasted, bot stuff like crazy. Go Joe Biden, this and that, whatever. If you voted for Joe Biden, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because you drank the Kool-Aid. And you've been programmed to do that. You've been programmed to do whatever the Democrat Party wants you to do. I feel bad for you. I do. There's a better way. Maybe if you listen to me a little bit, you might find the way. If you don't agree with me, go ahead and get in the comments and threaten my life. Go ahead and threaten my life and be mad at me and be upset. And then we'll kind of go from there. All right. We'll get back here. So more bleeding, more losses, bad things are coming. You know, the mainstream media is going to paint it like it's not bad. The White House is going to paint it like it's not bad, like it's not horrible. But this is going to continue to get worse. It's going to continue to get worse until they pivot. We're going to talk about the pivot. I even hate using the word pivot because it's so overdone and nobody really knows what it means, but we'll talk to you about that. Number 4, truly global Bitcoin adoption is what these people say. So if you guys just joined, I'm going to read you 10 predictions for 2023 from CoinDesk.com. And we're on that right now. So their 4th one is truly global Bitcoin adoption. When I spoke with Alex Gladstein, Chief Strategy Officer of Human Rights Foundation, he had just returned from a Bitcoin conference in Ghana. I was blown away, says Gladstein. I was staggered by the number of Bitcoin entrepreneurs and leaders from so many different countries. He met people from rural Cameroon, from the Democratic Republic of Congo, from Somalia, from conflict zones. They're all just building on Bitcoin. It's legitimately amazing. You know what I have to say to that, folks? Good. Good. If Bitcoin is the gateway drug to DeFi, then fine. What's the alternative in places like this? The alternative is corruption. You know, you go down there and you give a public official $1 million to help his community. By the time it gets to that community, that $1 million turns into about 1,000, divvied up amongst 1,000 people. The corruption is staggering. So with this, at least they have some semblance of control. Anything is better than the centralized banking concept. So good. This is the gateway drug. Bitcoin is the gateway drug. Here's what I got to say. If they want to shill it, and I know a lot of the shilling, a lot of the lies are sent out, this and that, but ultimately it is better than the existing system. So I want people to kind of open their eyes and broaden their perspectives a little bit. Is it perfect? Is it awesome? Is it 13 years old? Yes to all that. Is it better than what we have? Yes as well. Maybe a focus on life outside of crypto, Bitcoin, and blockchain. So this is their point number 5. So now they're really reaching. When asked for his 2023 predictions, the Bitcoin megabull Peter McCormick, host of What Bitcoin Did podcast, simply replied, Real Bedford will win the league. So he purchased the team in 2021, Real Bedford. So basically they're making the point that, hey guys, there's actually life outside of crypto. So maybe we can focus on life outside of crypto in 2023 during the bear market. And we all know the story about our furry little friend, Peter McCormack. Some of this stuff is just kind of silly. Here, I want to make a point too, guys. Let me tell you this. I think that the bull run, and we're going to go into when it's going to happen but I think this next bull run is actually, it's going to be hyper focused on NFTs. Now, why is that? What has happened? What have you guys been seeing constantly? You've been seeing a major uptick in the AI artwork. If regular people have the ability to use language to create art, then I think that you're going to see, it's going to be a meme. It's going to be a narrative. You're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see it probably 10 or 100 times more than you did before. I think that that's going to be a big thing moving into 2024, 25, 26. Pulse chain launches. You've got folks like Mintra, and you've got you've got Pixel. You've got the Power City folks. They're launching some things. I think that's going to be a really, really big thing because of the advancements of the AI artwork, and it's only going to get better. So, and I was playing with that stuff last night, dude. It's pretty daggone cool. In fact, I'll show you. I'll show you what I was doing here. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I can go back and forth. Sweet. Awesome. All right, and so share. Oh, you guys can't see that, can you? I'm going to have to do this. Bear with me. So we're talking about AI artwork right now. I'm going to try to get you guys, does it show? Well, for some reason it's not shown. It's all good though. I think I can go to Discord. And I think I can go to... Maybe I can go to Midjourney. Maybe it'll show. Midjourney.com. Let's check it out. Yeah, so I was playing around with some stuff last night, and I made some pretty daggone cool, like... I made some pretty cool images, man. With my words. Like this, and this is the type of quality that you might see. Now, I know I would have to go into Photoshop and fix... you know, this is misspelled, obviously. But there's just some cool, like, images, cool ideas that I created. You know, it probably took me a total of... It's probably sitting down for 30 or 45 minutes to create some of these. But, I mean, these are higher quality than you could pay for on Fiverr. So, again, like I said, I think that... I tried all sorts of stuff, too, man. I mean, this one was pretty neat. It would be cool if it showed the actual words that were being used. This stuff was cool, but it was kind of creepy at the same time. Like, it kind of goes off on these tangents. So, I know we're just feeding the neural net, the limbic system of the AI that's going to take us over one day. I put this in here, parting the Red Seas. Child parting the Red Sea. Yeah, that's what I put. Made this crazy nightscape. Dark, snowy, moonlit night fog. That was pretty crazy. David Feeder's beard. Looks like Finbear with David Feeder's beard. This one was cool. Infinity in space. So there's a lot of cool little things that you guys can do here. This was neat too. I was doing thunderstorms and things like that. But the point of all of this is that when people get a hold of this sort of stuff, I think that you're going to see a really big uptick in NFT artwork. So that's what's crazy about that. All right. Let me check chat here real quick. Let's check chat. Okay. This is why what Texas is doing is so important, and I stand behind them 100%. This is why Texan token is way more... It's... If you want utility, you got some utility here, folks. Massive utility. Freedom and sovereignty is a massive utility. More poison for the baby. Sam I am. Hey, David. Texan was designed with these times in mind will shine the most in the dark times ahead. Red Squirrel says, when Rag speaks, even his words are ginger. Red Squirrel. Bro, your name's Red Squirrel. I bet you're a ginger, man. I bet you're talking all this trash and you got some ginger in you too, buddy. Nothing but love for you, brother. I'll cover you 6 with my life. Dude, John May. John May, my man. Tank Crypto. Sup, Swabby? What's up, man? What is going on in here? He finally, well, the phrase, that going cool. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going here. We're going to talk about the rest of these predictions. And then we're going to get into it. If you guys want to know what software that was, go to Midjourney. Midjourney online. Midjourney.com, I think it is. You can Google it. Just Google Midjourney. Don't count out NFTs. That was their number 7. The sustained high-risk appetite in NFT funding in 2022 is a strong indicator that it will be one of the first sectors to recover next year. Throughout the past year, we were beginning to see major NFT investments from major Web 2 brands, Starbucks and Disney, and across Web 3. This shows no sign of stopping in 2023. Yeah. Gaming and DAOs continue to grow. Burke is similarly bullish on gaming as prominent Web3 game titles that have been in development for quite some time, including Big Time, Star Atlas, Ember Sword, will finally see the light of day in 2023. So here's the thing, though. Like, this is already been in play for a very long time. Like, you can go in, you can buy items, you can trade items, you can sell items in games. Like, there's already value in there without Web3. So I guess I would just need a little bit more. I would need somebody to sit down and explain to me why this is so important, because it seems like it already exists to me. That's the thing that's kind of weird. If it has maybe they just want it to have a price chart here. I guess so. The big exchanges become disaggregated. Yeah, I think the big exchanges are going to. So what we saw was massive exchanges failing, and then you've got the cascade effect, and it takes everything out with them. I think that we saw that. And I think that the SEC and the governments are going to try to kind of air gap all of these exchanges, disaggregate them, so it's not as much of a cascade. So, the space regroups, read the room, and assess the damage, says Sandra Rose, CEO of Global Blockchain Business Council, who then gives a bit of advice for the space at large. Regroup with humility, rebuild with integrity, regain trust, and rise again. Hey, what's your name? Sandra? Man, Sandra, shut up. I didn't do nothing wrong. Nobody in this chat did anything wrong. What are you talking about, Willis? Are you speaking for the centralized entities? Here's what I bet. I bet she has never read the Satoshi white paper. I bet you she hadn't. Global Blockchain Business Council. Bet she hasn't. She doesn't understand what it is. She doesn't understand the perversion of what happened. I'm going to tell you guys this. Like I said, man, you guys are going to, for the people that are sticking around right now are going to turn into the Roman citizens of crypto here in about 2 to 4 years. You're going to be untouchable. You're cutting your teeth right now, man. You're getting your stripes. You're earning those damn things. All right. Now we're going to get into my predictions. So I'm going to get into my predictions about what's happening. I'm going to try to give you guys some reasoning and some logic to back them up. It's going to be official. So you guys are going to be able to look back on this. Maybe I get a couple right. Maybe I don't. It is what it is. It's a fun little exercise. But here we go. Prediction number 1, and this has to do with crypto, but if you guys are part of this channel, this also has to do with like the macro level as well. Janet Yellen retires as Treasury Secretary. And Gary Gensler is nominated by Biden to take over just before the 2024 elections, when Democrats will most likely be ousted. Woo! That's a big one. What's significant about that, guys? There is a story that's emerging with Gary Gensler. There is a narrative. The picture is coming in closer focus. More resolution here with this guy. This guy is a Democrat. And the thing about Democrats is they want freedom and autonomy, except when it comes to your money. They say they want freedom. That's actually a lofty statement. But we definitely know they don't agree with you spending your money where you want your money to be spent. They want to make that decision for you. That's the damn truth. I don't know how many different I could create stream after stream proving that truth. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to want to keep a Democrat in charge of this centralized banking system. Republicans say they're against it. Libertarians say they're against it. Nothing ever changes. But the best person to do it is a Democrat, because they believe in it so much. So I think they don't want to lose that to anybody else. Janet Yellen is 84 or 86 years. She's about 84, 85 years old. Gary Gensler, we're going to get into this. He has served in the United States Department of the Treasury as Assistant Secretary for Financial Markets from 97 to 99. Then as Undersecretary for Domestic Finance from 99 to 2001. He served as the head of the CFTC, and now he's at the SEC. He was treasurer for the Democrat Party in Maryland for 2 years. He was an advisor to both Obama and Hillary Clinton. He's very closely politically aligned with Elizabeth Warren, and his Democratic leanings will prove to bring max pain to crypto investors. As Assistant Secretary, Gensler served as senior advisor to the Secretary of the Treasury in developing and implementing the federal government's policies for debt management and for the sale of U.S. government security. This guy has a ton of experience. And I think that he will be pushed to Treasury Secretary. Another thing that I want to add, this is kind of like an offshoot. He's also an avid runner, but not just an avid runner. He does the crazy stuff. He does the marathons, the 50 milers, the 100 milers, all that stuff. Now, what does that tell you about him? He's probably very persistent. He probably is not the type of person that gives up. He sets his sights on something. He's a career bureaucrat. I think that they are going to put Gary Gensler as the Treasury Secretary. That's what I really believe here. All right. Gary Gensler creates a framework in 2023 to force all crypto exchanges, centralized or decentralized, into compliance with the SEC. You might ask, how could he force a decentralized exchange to register with the SEC? Firstly, you can make it illegal to interact with a non-compliant decentralized exchange, i.e. no KYC. That's what I mean by that. And I've written these notes down, guys, just so I can give you really, really good information here. They would force fiat on-ramps and off-ramps to utilize a wallet blacklist and potentially subpoena records to verify the identities of individuals who interacted with the DEXs after they tried to off-ramp that money. So remember, guys, these on-ramps and off-ramps, they've got you guys KYC'd, right? So they can subpoena those records. Coinbase, it probably happens to Coinbase literally every day. Also, they would use the OFAC compliant Ethereum validators to push out transactions that originated from these DEXs that haven't come to the SEC to register and remain compliant. Interesting. I think that we will see that. They are going to attack. This is going to be the year that they start attacking exchanges and DEXs. They have to do it. They're going to provide an alternative as well. They're going to provide an alternative exchange that's going to roll out some of the first CBDCs from the United States government. And I think slowly they're going to try to push out all privatized money. I think that that's going to happen here. All right, this one's going to be a fun one. Quantitative tightening stops in Q3 of 2024. You guys understand where we are right now? This is a three-step process to get us to a bull run. The first step happened on December 14th. Now, what was that first step? They decelerated the rate hike, the interest hikes. They decelerated it. Instead of 75 basis points, they dropped it to 50. What are they going to do next? Beginning of February, they're going to take it from 50 to 25. Well, why is that? It's because they want to hit 5. They want to hit 5% interest rate. If they do 25 basis points the beginning of February, they're going to be right at 5. Right at 5. Now, step 1 was decelerating. Step 2 is stopping. So what are we going to see? I'm hoping that in February, at the latest March, we are going to see interest rates stop increasing. They're not going to raise them anymore. 25 basis points might be the last time. That will signal step number 2, which is freezing interest rate hikes. What's step number 3? Step number 3 is when they're on the right trajectory, when they feel like they're heading towards 3, they're at 3%, they're almost at 2%, they're at the right trajectory. They start decreasing interest rates and printing money. So there's 3 steps: decelerate, pause, decrease. And we are on step 1 right now. It happened on December 14th. The question becomes, how long is this type of thing going to take? How long is it going to take? Well, let's kind of, let's share a screen here. You guys have been watching this. This looks really, really busy, but it's actually very simple. This fractal is a fractal that we created back in June. And I said the markets could somewhat resemble this. Looking at this right now, I'm going to keep it on here because we could get back on track at some point. I think I underestimated how bad the recession is going to actually be. I think it's going to be pretty rough. And I think it's going to be pretty rough because remember, those rate hikes that we saw 3 months ago are only coming to fruition now. It's a lag. So we put those rate hikes in, maybe 75 basis points. We're not going to see the true results of those until about 3 months later. Same goes with what we did in December with the 50 basis points. We're not going to see those December, March, April, like April timeframe, March timeframe. So I think that it's going to hurt for most of 2023. And I think that the Federal Reserve is going to be forced to, because you're going to have liquidity crisis in the debt markets. You're going to have liquidity crisis in the bond markets. It's going to get really, really weird at that point. They're going to be forced to decrease interest rates to try to stimulate the economy back because they don't want to trigger a depression. Make no mistake, it's going to be rough for 2023. This white dotted line indicates my idea of when possibly we could see the Federal Reserve hit that stage 2 to stage 3. So they start decreasing interest rates. That could happen, I'm guessing, between April and June. April, June of 2023. Now, if they decrease it, what happens? The economy is still getting worse. There's still a lot of heavy stuff on that. If you look back on inflation, the history of inflation, after rate hike increases, at the max rate hike, it typically takes 24 months to get back to the target inflation rate. So the maximum interest, I think, was the basis point, actually inflation. That was at about June, I think, of 2022. So that means June of 2024 would be the point at which we kind of return back to 2% inflation. So it's about a 24-month evolution. However, the point at which they start decreasing interest rates and printing money again will be the start of the bull run. That happens, in my mind, somewhere in Q3 of 2023. That is how I feel about that. All right. Next, we're talking about Hex. This is going to piss some of you guys off that are just kind of drive-by fans here. You guys show up to the channel sometimes just to see what I'm saying. If you've been here a while, this is nothing new to you. I think Hex hits 0.8 of a penny no later than May 1st of 2023, as long as Pulse Chain doesn't launch. Hex to hit 0.8 of a penny no later than May 1st of 2023. Where am I seeing this right now? Why am I seeing this right now? What am I looking at? We know the macro situation is absolutely brutal. Macro situation is absolutely brutal right now, right? And it's taking crypto down with it. Hex is not new. Hex has been around for 3 years. So, Hex is going to be subject to violent price moves to the downside. There's going to be a lot of deflating the Hex price. And this is completely normal. The entire market is being destroyed. Now, what's very important, and we just have to be real with you. Got to be real with you here, folks. I love the fact that people are making money in a bear market with some of these projects that have just launched. Some people are making a little bit of money with Zen, I guess. Some people are making money with Pulse Dogecoin, Pulse ASIC, all that. Guys, remember this. It's much easier to pump a chart at the beginning when there's not a lot of liquidity to move around. It's really an inertia thing. It's a mass thing. There's not a lot of economic mass in those smaller projects. So they can pump hard to the upside. It's much easier. You get something like Hex. You get something like, Ethereum. You get something like Uniswap. These are going to go down. They're going to go down just like it has every single time. And people are trashing Hex left and right. I'm like, guys, I'm not seeing anything different than ever. It's always been this way. It's been this way for 13 years. It's going to be worse this time. Why? Because we're actually in the first recession. I'm actually blown away at how well Hex is holding up. Oh, Brandon, it's down 99. Blah, blah, blah. Guys, even Ethereum went down 90 some percent last cycle. Well, 2018. And we're in the worst recession ever. And Hex is still up quite a bit. I'm surprised. I'm happy with that. Now, let's get back to it here. These are the levels that we're going to look at. We got some major levels of support that the Hex price is going to be testing. One's at about 1.3. So 1.3 pennies here. 1.3 cent. Underneath that, we're going to be about 1 penny. Underneath that, these levels here, this represents a time period where a lot of people got into Hex. Okay, and this also represents some very significant psychological levels and order book levels for folks. This could be the area where we start chopping back and forth. But I'll say this, guys, based on the trend that we've seen, all the way from the top of Hex, which was back in September of 21, all the way down, I'm guessing that right around April, May timeframe, we're going to see 8/10 of a penny. I think we could. Could we wick down further? We could have somebody absolutely massive dump and wick us way down. 8/10 of a penny no later than May. I think that's what I said. Yeah. Be prepared for that, folks. Be psychologically prepared. This is what happens to altcoins. Happened so many times in the past. We've got a great community. Everything is there to be okay. You gotta get ready for it, because it could definitely happen. All right. Let me check us out here. What is next? Okay. So Hex, that's my fourth. Hex hits 8/10 of a penny no later than May 1st of 2023, as long as Pulse Chain doesn't launch. Now, let's talk about Pulse Chain. Talk about Pulse Chain, guys. Now, here's the thing. I don't know anything. I don't have inside information. This is just me. I've heard this idea from a couple other people. I thought about it. It makes sense to me. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Pulse Chain launches after May of 2023. Why? Let me show you guys why. This is Uniswap, docs.uniswap.org. Uniswap v3. It says, hold on a sec. I got a little wild kiddo running around. Wild kiddo. He's wild, man. Freaking wild thing. All right. Docs.uniswap.org. All right. Please note that Uniswap v3 is under the BUSL license until the change date, currently 2023-0401, April 1st of 2023. Now, what's the significance of that in my mind? Right? So v3 can't be forked legally until after that. They're not going to open that up. To be good, to be as good or better than Ethereum, I would expect Richard would want v3 functionality. v3 functionality allows liquidity providing to be much more efficient per unit of crypto used. And this is also something that you have to consider. If Richard is providing liquidity with all of that crypto that was donated or sacrificed or this or that, it would make much more sense to be able to do that with V3. So if it comes available April 1st and they don't change anything, I would expect Pulse Chain, maybe they take about 30 days to fork it properly. I would expect Pulse Chain to launch on or after like May of 2023. Again, not an insider. I hate that I'm even having to talk about that, but maybe logically that could make sense for some camps, for some people. So, Pulse Chain launch on or after, which has to do with V3. Next, gold hits $2,000 to $3,000 per ounce as recession deepens and confidence in markets continue to decrease. Gold has been pumping over the past, 6 or 8 months. As the recession decreases, people are looking for some sort of hedge against inflation, some sort of hedge against the rising rate hikes, and people are going to go to gold. I think that you will see $2,000 an ounce gold, $2,000 to $3,000. I think it surpasses $2,000 personally. Another thing, Bitcoin hits $10,000 or under no later than June of 2023. If nothing changes from an economic standpoint, right? If nothing changes, and we're on the same downward trajectory that we've been this entire time, and in fact, it's getting worse, then what would make us think, and we're on Bitcoin right now, what would make us think from this top and this angle that's been formed, what would make us think that we wouldn't be seeing $10,000 Bitcoin by June of 2023? Again, the only thing that's really going to bail us out here is that the Fed does something miraculous. And by miraculous, it's still screwed up. The fact that they have to print money and manipulate interest rates, and it's not a free market and all that, that's just screwy in and of itself. I happen to think that the real cataclysm, the real apocalypse, is probably going to happen in about 2035, between 2035 and 2040. I think that that's going to be depression level type stuff, but you guys are going to have some time to get ready for that next cycle. All right. Whoa. Almost dropped my bottle there. Good catch, Davis. All right, let's go back to main here. So gold hits 2,000 to 3,000. Bitcoin hits 10,000 or under no later than June of 2023. So it's all coming to a head. It's getting pretty nasty. All right, this is going to be my last prediction for 2023. Twitter moves to purchase transmitter licenses and begins to integrate centralized and decentralized payment systems to solidify itself as the thing that Facebook wishes it could be. In November, Twitter filed registration paperwork with the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, to pave the way for it to process payments, according to the New York Times. I believe, along with something that I reported a while back, and this is, what is it, Binance. Remember this, folks. I want you guys to remember this. You guys remember that CZ from Binance gave Elon Musk $500 million to acquire Twitter. Okay? Now, let's look at this too. Let's check this out. I'm going to share this. Binance launched a Binance Bluebird Index. What is the Binance Bluebird Index? Binance Bluebird Index is a cryptocurrency price index launched in November of 2022 that tracks the performance of BNB, CZ, Doge, right, which is Elon, and Mask. The index is calculated using a formula that incorporates the weighted averages of the constituent tokens' real-time prices on the Binance spot market. So I think personally that Elon's play is to use crypto actually in a decentralized fashion Because if you look at the Mask network and you go to their website, you can look at their front end, you can look at all the tools that they built. It's for MetaMask, it's for decentralization. I think that he is going to get a piece of this crypto pie using Twitter. And I think that it's much easier for him to do this now that Twitter is actually private. So I'm going to go back through the chat here. I want you guys to tell me what do you think? What do you think of these predictions? Way off, some on. What are your thoughts here? All right. Davis says, Brandon, wearing a hat defeats the point of a fundraiser. You guys want this hat off? All right, fine. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful dome piece. What's up, fam? 1 or 2 more rate hikes? Yeah, I think we got about one. I think 25 basis points in Feb, and we're going to be done for a while. They'll probably keep rate elevated pause for a lot longer than people think. I do agree. Now, Jerome Powell said that they were going to keep that all the way through 2023. I don't think they can do that because they're going to break shit. They're going to break the markets. And if there's a run on the debt markets and there's no liquidity, they're going to have to do something. And there's only a handful of things that they can actually do to fix this stuff. Bobby Hexelrod, what's up, dude? 1 to 2 more. Yeah, Irwin must have a whooping cough. He can't stop coughing. Rough 2023 as well. Yeah, max opportunity here, folks. Vibra Finance got all my boosters and still keeps on creeping up on me. Zen gonna smoke Hex from here on out. Mr. Rafferty, I'm taking this as financial advice, financial opinion. My financial opinion. I hope Hex dumps. That's gonna piss a lot of people off. Tea time. We only ones who called 7 cents rags got the YouTube clip. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Who called 7 cents? You talking about me? Or you talking about somebody else? Tea time? Who you talking about, man? Hope not, but back the truck up. I got 7 racks for Hex if it hits 0.008. Don't be surprised. I think it probably will. Truth, pain isn't over. Best kid up. Yep. Monkeypox boosters. Even though I know we're going lower, that did not stop me from desaying in Hex. Yep. It's got to happen, unfortunately. The bigger the powers just need to change economics, and pleds are on the sidelines, whether we like it or not. Hold on, just a second. Okay, if anything, people should buy Hex now, wait for the Pulse launch news, and sell on a 5x. Hopefully Pulse launch is quicker. Crypto Freedom says, Rags, question, don't you feel once V3 is launched, Hex will turn upwards and won't reach 0.00? Yeah. Well, that's a good point. If there's any, so Richard did say once V3 is launched, then we're probably about 2 weeks away, but things have changed. Things are different now because he was talking about the BSC fork, right? And we're not forking that now. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe people get excited. If Richard provides no clarification, people will probably assume that it's coming very, very quickly and we're going to see a pump. But yeah, if he sticks to what he said before, and I know things are different, so I'm not going to hold him to it, but V3 launches were 2 or 3 weeks away is what he said before. Maybe it will pump. And again, my prediction is all based off Pulse Chain not pumping. Hex hits 8/10 of a penny if Pulse Chain doesn't launch. Now I'm holding you accountable for the beard. Bet no shaving until 10,000x. Dude, I told you guys, that's what we're doing. It's going to get weird. I say March. Hex doesn't have a bottom. Its price is tied to Pulse Chain. The longer Pulse takes to dump. No, I don't think so. I think this is regardless of Pulse Chain. Hex is going to pump when the rest of the markets pump. It's just going to pump a lot more than most. I really believe that. 100%. Talking to Uniswap. Yeah, Uniswap V3. I'm calling May 11th for launch. I'm calling it Pulse Chain will not launch in 2023. It may not. It may not. If he's timing the market now, which he says he's not. But again, things change. Things change. Mexicans pretend to like Richard only because their money is tied up in his coins. I think that that's actually a factual statement. It would be some people, yeah, absolutely. Some people are that way. If they peg the currency to gold, then gold would be about $10,000 to $15,000. So says Jim Rickard. Yeah. Evelo should kick rocks. His math adds up. It's really simple. Davis hit a nerve, huh? Oh, giggity. When I said it won't launch till 2022, I was accused of spreading FUD as well. I'm telling people to be realistic and prepare. We don't know, but it's okay. It's okay to say that. I'm saying that. Ouroboros, it said that Richard blocked Hex info on Twitter. He probably did. Hey, folks, let me just tell you something here. Let me just say something, okay? Imagine this is a definite strategy. Why are you gonna endorse or shill something? Why are you gonna do it? You know that Richard hates talking about things that aren't Hex. He's probably one of the best founders for that reason, because he shills the heck out of your token. When I say your token, it's my token too. But like, he doesn't want Pulse Bitcoin people. He doesn't want ASIC people. He doesn't want Pulse Doge people all up in his chat every single time he posts it. He doesn't want it. So he's going to block people. And I'll tell you this, man. The Pulse Bitcoin people, man, it's hilarious. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let me find it. I'm going to find this, guys. And I'm going to tell you probably what Richard's dealing with to a factor of like 1 million. Let me find this daggone thing. But I'm getting this more and more. I don't know if it's bots. I don't know what it is. I'm looking. All right. Well, essentially, here's what they said. They were like, Rags, shame on you for not talking about Pulse Bitcoin. And they tagged Jimrat Crypto too. Shame on you, Rags. You're getting your followers wrecked. So that really pisses me off, because I don't know, like, I don't know if it's a bot or not. It might be a bot. I don't freaking know. I don't know what capabilities bots have. But Richard's dealing with that on a huge level. If he's the founder of Hex, and that's all he talks about is Hex, then he doesn't want anything else in there. And he's going to block people that way. He is. And I will say, man, that there's a lot of people in the Pulse Bitcoin. I'm just being straightforward. Pulse, Dogecoin, this and that. They hate Richard. They hate him. Now, I'm not saying that it's not justified. I can understand why they'd be frustrated with him. But, like, there's shots fired well before he said anything about those guys. I just want to point that out. So maybe they poked the bear. Maybe they poked the bear because they wanted him to talk about it. Maybe that helped. But it's strategery, as George W. Bush loves to talk about. All right. Let's see here. Damn, look at that 5-head. Dude, this is a beautiful Besa, dude. Put some oil on that thing, man. Lather that thing, dude. Picture ready. Film ready. Camera ready. Look at that. Beautiful ginger dome piece there. Big heads represent. I'm more interested in Texan token right now, to be honest. Texan token is going to be a really, really cool thing. Texan token is going to be a cool thing. And I've got strategy with that as well. You know what my strategy is? My strategy is, if you want to participate in it, you will. And if you want to talk to people about it, you will. I am not going to shove that down your throat, folks. I'm not going to do it. I want it to stand on its own merit. And if you believe all of the reasons that we have presented to you why this is important, then you're going to participate. And if you don't believe, you're not. And I'm not going to shame you for it. That's just how I roll. Pretty stoked about it too. Extremely happy. If you're worried if Richard follows or blocks you, that's called insecurity. Yeah, I mean, you know, 100%. Richard hasn't followed me ever. You guys realize that? I've said that plenty of times on here. He's never followed me. He's never followed me. I don't really think I talk about it. I don't think I really talk about it that much. I don't care. I really like Hex, and I really appreciate what Richard taught me. It's just the bottom line. Rags would give me Jesse Pinkman vibes. Yeah, well, bro, if I could cook crystal blue meth, you think I'd be on here doing YouTube, man? Come on now. Those Muppets are making gains in the bear. If you were, yeah, okay. Children, facts. No one's worried. It's just a shame. Both genius. Those predictions sound pretty daggone reasonable. All right. Crypto community needs to come together if we're going to defeat this tyranny. Pulse Bitcoin genius. Laugh my butt off. Great heads shape. It's obvious why RH doesn't shill other coins. Never saw PLSD shilling PP. Yeah, exactly. Texan token to be on fire when it launches. I think it's going to be pretty cool. But again, that's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. I'm excited about it. Hopefully it does really, really cool things. Top Ginger, Footsteps. It's amazing how blind some are to double standards. Benny Blanco says, yeah. It's really difficult, guy. I empathize with everybody here because I go through these back and forths in my brain as well. It's like I'm pissed off at this person, and then I'm like, well, wait, I understand. I'm pissed off at that person. And then I'm like, okay, well, I understand it. So it's difficult. Crypto Twitter is really, really difficult to navigate because there's so much evil and hatred on here. People trying to bring each other down, but it's a competition for attention. Everybody's in competition for attention. You guys got to get that. So everything that you're seeing right now, that's what this is. But I'll tell you this. Everybody's going to be so much happier when the Federal Reserve starts printing money again and decreasing interest rates. Everybody in the world is going to be. Crypto Twitter is going to be a wonderful place to be. But until that point, man, if you don't have to be on here, daggone, don't be on here. It's not even worth it. Rags, have you considered a scenario where Pulse doesn't launch in the next bull run? Does not launch in the next bull run? I haven't considered that scenario, no. Texan Tour trivia. At multiple stops, people said I looked like Breaking Bad character. Guess which one? David Lee? Which one do you look like, man? Do you look like the man? What's his name? What's the guy's name? Gosh. Walter White. You look like Walter White? Is that what they said? Yeah, I feel like there's too much free Texan token being handed out. Just saying it dilutes the original pioneers. Well, Matt gives out about 1 million. Now, what percent of 1 million? What percent does 1 million represent when you have 100 trillion supply? That's what I gotta say. We gotta get rid of the Fed. John May, you ain't lying, brother. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to go. 1 hour and 5 minutes. I can't believe I'm hanging out with you. Guys, just as a quick reminder.
Rags to riches. Do not like, comment, or subscribe.
Your boy Rags is out. Macy May. Mason. Mason. Oh, my mic is on. Sorry, guys.